Hello students. So you remember in the previous video we studied what are vernier calipers and how they are used to improve the accuracy of an instrument. Okay, along with the main scale, you can see there is a main scale here. Along with this main scale, this is a main scale. We had this pink colored vernier scale also. Okay, and this vernier scale has divisions on it. See, 0 to 10. It had 10 divisions, and the main scale can be as long as depends upon the length of an instrument. And then using these two scales, we could measure the outside diameter of an object, and by using these inside jaws, we could measure the inside diameters of an object. So these vernier scales helped us to improve our measurement. Like I gave you an example also how my measurement was let's say 6 mm, and after using the vernier scale I got the accuracy of 6.7 mm. Okay, 0.1 decimal. So we had one example also that measurement was 6 mm, and after using vernier scale it became 6.7 mm. Okay, that means you see 1 decimal place, the accuracy has increased by 1 decimal place using this vernier caliper. Now the second instrument which we will study is screw gauge to further improve the accuracy of an instrument. Okay, let's say I want not 1 decimal but I want 2 decimal places. Let's say I want the reading as 6.72 mm. Okay, further. So how to do that? And if I want to measure the diameters of very thin objects, okay, let's say I want to measure the diameter of I'm sorry, let's say I want to measure the diameter of a wire. You can see this wire, a very thin wire. If I want to measure the diameter of this wire, how to do that? That can be done by using screw gauge. So I'll show you the diagram of screw gauge. Keep the textbooks open in front of you and keep looking at the diagram which is there in the textbook also. Okay, because ultimately we have to use that diagram. I'll show you the original instrument and the diagram as well. This is the diagram of a screw gauge. You have the diagram in textbook also. Just compare the diagram, we'll see each and every part. So this part here is called as the stud. Here it is named as anvil. Anvil is another name for stud. Okay, in your textbook it is named as stud. Now this is the U frame, U-shaped frame, and you can see two important names here. One is sleeve, the sleeve, and another is thimble. This sleeve is nothing but the main scale. Okay, you can see the reading here. Here this is the main scale. Okay, and this thimble is the screw. Okay, how does it work? What is the how to calculate the reading? All this will be done later. Just understand the labeling of this. Just understand the instrument first. So this circular reading here, this reading is called as the circular scale, and this part here, this part is known as the thimble. Okay, thimble is also called as the circular scale. You have to remember the other name. Sleeve is called as main scale, thimble is called as circular scale. Okay, now this ratchet here, you can read the word ratchet. This ratchet, when you rotate this ratchet, like when I rotate this like this, the screw will move ahead. We'll see the demonstration. When we rotate the ratchet, the screw will move ahead. So this part, you can see the spindle here. This spindle will move inside and outside depending upon the rotation of this ratchet. Okay, and the object which you place is kept here between the stud and the spindle. Depending upon the size of the object, you will rotate this ratchet and this screw will move, and we will keep the object here. Okay, so I hope the labeling of the screw gauge is clear to you. This line here, this line of the main scale is also called as the base line. In the diagram in your textbook you can see the base lines, and this spindle is nothing but a screw. Here there are marks like a screw here, and once again I tell you, this thimble is the circular scale and this sleeve here is the main scale. Okay, I'll show you another diagram of a screw gauge. See, in reality a screw gauge like this looks like this. It is silver in color, and you can see here that how there is a space here. When we move this ratchet, see, this is a screw like object. When you move this, the screw will move inside and you will keep the object here. Object will be kept here. This is the U frame. This is the measurement, the maximum measurement up to which the screw gauge can work. And you can see this main scale. This is basically I wanted to show you the color of the screw gauge and how it looks. It is made up of metal. And this circular scale is very important. See, this main scale gives us the basic reading of the screw gauge, and circular scale will give us the reading after the decimal point. Okay, the accurate reading, the extra reading which we get is because of this circular scale. Okay, so let's start with the working of the screw gauge now. You can see this, a normal screw. Now using this screw, I will make you understand the working of screw gauge. Okay, see now as we are all stuck at home, it is not possible to show you the actual instrument. I have tried to source many videos from YouTube, many pictures, and I'll try to explain you the concept. So see, this is a basic screw here. Okay, and this screw has these lines on it. They are I'll show you these lines on the screw. See, these lines are called as the threads on the screw. Now when you rotate the screw, the screw moves inside the object, whichever object you have. So see how it is done. See, you are rotating the screw. This is the rotational motion, and let's say the screw was here and it reached here. You can see by after this rotation, the initial position of the screw was here, and now it has reached here after rotating. Okay, let's see once again. See, after the rotation, the initial position, after rotation it has reached the final position. So these positions of the screw after rotating, see, this is the circular motion and we are getting a linear motion here. Okay, so this distance which the screw travels in rotation, this is the distance traveled by the screw when we rotated the screw once. Okay, but let's go deeper into it. Let's take a closer look. See here, these are the consecutive threads of the screw. Okay, and when you rotate the screw one time, okay, when you once rotate the screw, it travels this much distance. Okay, let's say this is a screw. If this is a screw, okay, when you rotate this screw once, it will move some distance inside. Okay, how much is that distance? This is this distance between these two thread lines. Okay, so easy भाषा में अगर मैं आपको explain करूँ, तो जब एक बार rotate करेंगे, जैसे this is a screw, okay, and if you rotate it once, एक rotation, तो ये इतना distance travel करेगा. Okay, then second rotation पे और एक इतना distance travel करेगा यहाँ तक, third rotation पे यहाँ तक distance, fourth rotation पे इतना distance. Okay, so ये एक एक thread को cover करता है एक एक rotation पे. So what is the significance of this? This distance which the screw travels in one rotation is called as the pitch of the screw. Okay, this is called as the pitch. So you understood what is pitch. Pitch is a very important part in screw gauge. That is why I showed you this video. That what is pitch? Pitch means the distance traveled when we rotate the screw once. Okay, so the distance traveled in one rotation. The definition of pitch is the distance traveled by the screw in one rotation is called as the pitch. So here you can see this is the distance. Okay, now let's understand how this screw is fit inside the screw gauge. Okay, so see this part now. You can see the screw fit inside the part, and this makes the main scale of the screw gauge. Okay, this part is the main scale of the screw gauge. Further, it has reading on it, and along with this main scale we have the U frame. This is the U frame. You can see the readings here. Okay, I'll make you understand how these readings work. These were the main scale, okay, which we called it sleeve. So this is the reading of the main scale. So you understood what is a sleeve. Sleeve is this main scale. This main scale is also called as the linear scale or the pitch scale. This distance, linear because it moves in a horizontal direction. Okay, this, and here is the stud. You keep the object here. We fix the object like this. Okay, you saw this is the object, this is the stud, this is what the spindle. When you move the screw from here and you fix the object. Okay, now how to move this screw? By using which object? That is the ratchet. So you will see now how we place this which is made here. It's the circular scale and this is the ratchet. You can see this part. This is the ratchet. Using this ratchet I will move, and this spindle will move on the left side and the right side, in and out, depending upon the size of the object. Okay, now how to, so this here, this measurement, this is called as the circular scale or the head scale. Now using by doing an experiment, let's understand how to measure the size of an object using a screw gauge. So for that I'll show you another video. Pay careful attention. Here we are going to use the screw gauge and this glass. We are going to measure the width of the glass using the screw gauge. Let's see how it is done. See, screw gauge, and this is a glass. See, this is the U frame, and we will place the glass here. See how we did? We rotated this ratchet, so the screw moved outwards, and we will place the glass slab here, this glass, piece of glass. Okay, and I want to measure the width of this glass. Now we will tighten the screw. Once it is fixed, once this measurement is done, now let's learn how reading is taken. How do we read the numbers from the screw gauge? So see, I told you before that this is the main scale, the main reading. Okay, and this distance, this is the zero line, this first line, second line, and it is inside this screw. The remaining readings, like these readings, these are the main scale readings. Okay, and they are inside the screw. So this distance, this small distance here, the distance between these two lines is 1 mm. Okay, this distance is 1 mm. So the distance between this line and this line is 1 mm. Now once we have placed the object, we will see that what is the reading on this main scale. So what is the reading on this main scale? How to count the reading? See, this is 1 mm, this is 2 mm, and after 2 mm I don't have a line. Okay, it is hidden. So the reading on the main scale in this case is 2 mm. Okay, I can count 2 lines, so that means the reading is 2 mm. Now let's see how to take the circular scale reading. Okay, this reading is also called as the pitch scale. As I told you, the main scale is also called as the pitch scale. See this, you can see the pitch reading. This was the pitch reading, and now when you have rotated the scale, the numbers have changed. Okay, you see, you have to see that which reading on this circular scale is coinciding with this baseline. Okay, when we are rotating this screw, see, you had rotated the screw, and because of the rotation the reading here had changed. Okay, and now we have to see that this line is coinciding with the main scale, so according to which we'll take the reading. So see, first this is the pitch scale reading 2 mm, and here this reading is, when we count the division, see, this is 60, then 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. So this division, 66th division, is coinciding with the baseline. Okay, so here it is written the pitch scale reading is 2 mm. Pitch scale means main scale, and the head scale means circular scale. This is the circular scale. This reading is 66 division. Okay, now how to write the final reading? We know that the main scale reading was 2 mm, correct? And here which division is coinciding? 66th division. That means the reading is 2.66 mm. Okay, so normally our main scale would have given us the reading as 2 mm, but by using this screw gauge we got an accuracy of 2 decimal places. Okay, and now the reading is 2.66 mm. If you convert this reading in centimeters, it will be 0.26266 centimeters. I think it is not visible, just a second. The reading on when I convert this in centimeters, I will get the reading as 0.266 centimeters. Okay, when you convert in centimeters, the decimal place is shifted on the left hand side. So you understand that by using the screw gauge, this method, our accuracy has increased by 2 decimal places. Okay, let's take one more example. This was the example of measuring the width of a glass plate. If you remember, we had inserted a glass plate here. So we had measured the width of the glass plate. So you have to understand that width is very less. So this 0.266 centimeter, width of a glass is always very less. Okay. Let's see how to measure the diameter of a small sphere. This is a very small sphere using this screw gauge. Okay, so we will place this sphere here by moving the ratchet. See this. When we moved this screw using this ratchet is used. Ratchet is turned and the screw is moved, and we place the ball here and we'll fix the screw now. Now it is fixed. Okay, and according to which the reading here changes. See, if you observe here, observe this circular scale. See. Observe the circular scale. It moves and it changes the reading. Okay, so now let's zoom and see the reading, the measurement of this. So first we count the main scale reading. Okay, so the main scale reading here is 1, 2 and 3. We can see 3 lines. That means the main scale reading is 3 mm, correct, which is also called as the pitch scale reading. This is also called as the pitch scale reading. It is 3 mm in this case. So this is the main scale reading, 3 mm. And now let's see which division with this division is coinciding with the main scale. So which division is this? Let's see. This division is coinciding, and it is this division is the 32nd division is coinciding with the main scale. The 32nd division is coinciding. That means the measurement is 3.32 millimeters mm. And if I convert this 3.32 millimeters in mm, I will get the answer as in centimeters. I will get 0.332 centimeters. 0.332 centimeters. Pardon my handwriting because this I am not able to write on the screen. So you see the pitch scale, that means the main scale reading was 3 mm, and the head scale means this circular scale reading was 32 division. You have to just see there are divisions made here, many divisions. You have to see which division is coinciding with the 0 scale division. So mark that value, the value is 32, just write it, the 3.32 mm. This is how, using this screw gauge, we can measure objects. I want to show you one more experiment, and this time we'll see how a real screw gauge, okay, the previous graphics were animated, so now we'll see how this real screw gauge is used to measure the width of a glass. Okay, so let's see. This is a piece of a glass, we will insert this piece of glass here, and by using the ratchet I will fix it. See, rotating the ratchet. And now let's take the reading. See, it is a little, this screw gauges, this is the main scale. So let's see the reading. 1, 2 and 3. I can see 3 lines here. That means it is 3 mm. Correct? I'll put a decimal place here, and I'll see that which division is coinciding. Now, which division is coinciding? So if I observe, this division is coinciding. Okay, and this division is the 88th division. The 88th division is coinciding. That means the reading is 3.88 mm, or in centimeters you can say it is 0.388 centimeters. Okay, I hope you have understood how you keep the object inside, rotate the screw gauge and see the readings. It's very simple to see the readings. This is the main scale. Count the lines 1, 2 and 3. That means 3 mm, and just see which division is coinciding. Okay, that division, just place it after the point. See, in reality, these calculations are not so easy. This is a trick which I have taught you, that how to write the readings. When we'll do the numericals, most of the time the numericals are cancelled, because in syllabus they have mentioned that no numerical problems. But actually when you do the numericals, there are many parameters which are changed. So you will study in higher classes, probably in your junior college, about how to use these instruments. In school also, I expect that your teachers must take you to physics lab and show you these instruments for real practical, so you'll understand how to manage these objects. Now that's all with screw gauge. In screw gauge you have to study how, that's it, that you have to know the functions of different parts of the screw gauge, and you have to understand this is the circular scale, main scale, U frame. That's it. One more thing, screw gauge is the zero error. Okay, so I'll show you what is zero error. It is similar to what it was in vernier caliper. Okay, in vernier caliper, if you remember, see, this was the zero of a main scale in vernier caliper. See, this was the main scale, let's say, and this was the zero of the main scale, and the zero of the vernier should coincide with the zero of the main scale. If the zero is here, it is called as positive zero error, and if the zero is after the main scale zero, it is called as the negative zero error. So in similar manner, in screw gauge we have zero error if, see, when there is no object here, when there is no object, this circular scale reaches till here. Okay, and the zero of this circular scale coincides with the zero of the base scale, because there is no object, so there will be no reading. Okay, so you have to understand that when there is no object placed, okay, so this baseline will coincide with the zero value. Okay, I'll show you one picture here. See this picture. So this is a normal screw gauge, and here you see when there is no object. So this is a perfect screw gauge where the zero of the circular scale, see, this is the circular scale. Okay, the zero of the circular scale is coinciding with the zero of the base scale. So there is no zero error. This is a perfect screw gauge, good to use. Okay, but if there is no object and still this zero of the circular scale is not coinciding with the zero of the main scale, okay, it should be here, it should be actually here, but it is down. Okay, so this, when the zero is below, when the zero of the circular scale is below the zero of the main scale, we call it positive zero error. Okay, and this is negative zero error. So you can see the zero of the circular scale, this is the circular scale and this is the main scale. So the zero of the circular scale is above the zero of the main scale. So this is called as the negative zero error. Okay, why negative? Because we subtract it, positive because we add it. but those type are not important for us. We just have to understand the concept here. Okay, so I hope that zero error is clear to you, that this is all what we have in screw gauge. There is one more thing in a screw gauge, that is the backlash error. Very important, very small topic although. Backlash error. Now what is this backlash error in screw gauge? See, because of the wear and tear of an object, see, for example, if you have the screw gauge and this ratchet which you use to rotate the screw gauge, if you are doing it very fast, okay, if you are doing it very fast, sometimes what happens that you have completed one rotation, but this reading here has not reached from 0 to 100, okay, because you are doing it very fast. This reading sometimes is going from 0 to 50, but you have already completed one rotation. That means there is some error here. Correct. See, you should slowly rotate the screw gauge so that the screw also has time to rotate properly. Correct. But sometimes when the screw gauge is very old, or because it is a metal, because of wear and tear, or there is some damage in the screw gauge, what happens is that even if you are rotating the screw gauge, the screw doesn't move ahead and it gives us errors in the reading. Okay, so there is errors in the reading. Those type of error are called as backlash error. Or it also has, sometimes it happens that if you are rotating the screw gauge like this and you want the screw gauge to move in left direction, but it will move in right direction because of some damage. Okay, so this happens very rarely, but these type of errors are called as backlash errors. And how to avoid them? Very simple. Use the screw gauge slowly, very slowly. Okay, and give it time. For example, if you are measuring some object, let's say if you have kept some object here, okay, and you have fixed the screw gauge, you have taken the reading, then remove the object and wait for some time, and then rotate the screw gauge in opposite direction so that it will come out and you can remove your object outside. Okay, so basically what they want to say, how to avoid backlash error, by using the screw gauge slowly and carefully. Okay, if you use it slowly and carefully, it won't give you that error. Okay, that error is because of the wear and tear. You understand what is wear and tear? Wear and tear means if you have used the object for a very long time, okay, थोड़ा टूटना फूटना हो जाता है, स्लिपरी हो जाता है अंदर से, ठीक है, जो उसके शार्प एजेस है वो ब्लंट हो जाते हैं, जिसके वजह से वो प्रॉपर रीडिंग नहीं दे पाता है. Okay, so that is called as wear and tear. That is the last topic of screw gauge. Now the part C in this chapter is pendulum. It's a very simple topic, pendulum. I'll teach you that topic on by drawing diagrams on a page. So just wait.